What's going on, guys? Besides here, in today's video we will be discussing how to convert a win from lane into a win into the game. This topic is very important because many of you are really good at lane phase and you are ahead in the lane phase, you're better AD carry, but you can't not win the game. So something is going on. Whether you are a new player or you are an experienced veteran, this video will provide valuable insights and strategies to help you. So sit back, relax. The problem of converting usually happens to players that are below master tier and especially below diamond. Majority of the players, they lack huge lot of fundamentals that if they would master, they would win a lot more. So let's talk about the rules that if you apply correctly, my personal expectations is that you will win 60 to 70% more games. The first rule is play to extend the lead, accelerate your gold income. You want to look to play more aggressive when you're actually having the lead. You want to look to push your lead. You want to get plays, you want to push more waves, you want to get something more. If we don't want to go in the other extreme where you take huge risks, because of course you just give up your lead. Coach, should I force plays? No, forcing requires you to do something overwhelmingly aggressive, which requires a big risk from you. No, you should not force. We're gonna go and see more examples on this. The second is play for objectives. And no, it's not the Drake, it's not the Herald that you want to think about, even though they're very important as AD carry. The most important thing on AD is farm, is getting gold, getting farm, getting plays. This is more important in the beginning of the lane. Most of the cases, in the first 15 minutes at least, more important than Drakes in majority of the cases. Of course, there are exceptions when you should follow for the Drake, but that's the rule of thumb. This is your goal as AD carry. And the third thing is team fights are important. It's the third rule. Be around your teammates after you got strong. So if you're gonna side lane a lot, if you're not gonna try to go mid lane, if you're not gonna try to rotate, if you're not gonna try to hover your teammates, you're not gonna convert your lead. Stay bot lane after you're 4-0, don't get the bot tower, and you're never gonna win that game. You need to rotate and you need to make something happen in the game. And two bonus rules right here is the Baron natural rule, like what to do, how to actually make Baron and when to make Baron, so you can actually convert the lead into winning the game. And of course, we want gonna explore the example of how to shot call in high elo and how to communicate in high elo. So let's get started.
You say that, oh, but I heard LS, I'm not saying in Challenger, I'm not saying in Grandmaster, and I'm not saying in LCS, ADC, or any pro league where people know what they're doing. If you play in a solo queue environment and you're below Grandmaster, so you watch this skill cap Challenger tips and tricks, guess what? Most of the rules won't apply for you players, and this is why I designed a coaching program that is ready for you, so that if you feel like you're in Emerald or in Gold and you feel stuck, the coaching is specialized and personalized for you, for your mistakes. But if you truly want to improve and you want to get better, try out coaching, because the coaching can be just for you.
Let's explore the following situation. I'm actually following on the river right now. There is a play on the river. I'm immediately going to go in because I do crush a wave, and I immediately move towards the river. On the river, we actually find Yasuo. I instantly exhaust him and we go into the lane phase. Easy peasy, right? After this, we're just going to zone, we get a kill. I actually slow push the wave because I know that I can crush in time. And then after I crush here, I actually go for the recall. And after I go to recall and I go in the mid game, in the lane, we can see that the Renata is on the top lane right here, right? So in this case, I'm just going to play safe. I'm gonna freeze right here, chill, stay safe. Wait, coach, didn't you say you just want to play aggressive after you get a lead? You're ahead, right? Well, yeah, but 1v2 in this specific case, since my Renata went on top, I'm just forcing a freeze right here, and then we are chilling. I'm chilling a little bit, and then right now I'm waiting the Renata to come back in the lane. And right now, all what I want to do is I want to slow push here, and I want to start playing aggressive. So exactly when the Vayne comes in the lane phase, I'm walking up and I'm trying to punish her. I'm trying to make the wave a big wave, and let's see what's gonna happen. They come in the lane phase. I'm already like up in level because my support just roamed on top lane. I'm level 6 right now and she's level 4. So I'm playing to win the lane, meaning that I'm poking, I'm going aggressive, I'm trying to make something happen, but it's not really risking to die, like risking of dying here, because you can see that my positioning in the lane phase is kind of in the middle. Then I force a play right now because I know that the enemy jungle is top side. So this is what I try to do. I freeze when my Renata was out, but since she came back in the lane and I know I'm ahead because we got some assist on the river, we got some XP lead, then I try to push it and I poke and push and poke and push and poke. Now jungle is top lane, so I'm gonna zone Vayne completely, and not only that, I'm gonna zone Vayne, but I'm also gonna take so many plays, and I want to stop her recall as well. I did stop her recall right here as well. I knew where is the enemy jungle. Of course, if I didn't, then I wouldn't actually go for this. play now. I actually take a lot of plates, and I know that Vayne just recalled and now she's coming in the lane, so I do not want to stay with 0 mana here. I just want to immediately recall. It's better to take only 2 plates and be able to recall than take 3 plates and then your recall is gonna get stopped. Now I recall immediately, and then I go to the lane phase, and guess what I do right here? I repeat it. Right now wave is coming into me, I still play aggressive. You can see my play style, and the first rule, right? The first rule is look to play aggressive, look to punish. What am I gonna do when Vayne is in the lane? I'm like, hey brother, how are you? How was your day? I'm walking up and I'm trying to auto tag them, use my Halo Blades, try to play aggressive. You might say, coach, are you crazy? You're trading in a big minion wave. Not really. I'm just giving the Vayne a lesson that, hey, I'm ahead. You're not allowed to stay here. I'm 30 CS ahead on you. In 9 minutes, which is huge. You picked Vayne into Varus. I need to punish you. I have a lead and I'm playing for the lead. So right now, the only concern I have right now is that my jungle is on the top lane and we're playing weak side. So the same thing. Right now I'm slow pushing here. I'm not really doing anything crazy. You can see that I'm walking up and I'm zoning, but I'm not really forcing anything. I'm not really going in a position where I'm like crazy aggressive where the enemy jungle could gank me. So now I'm slow pushing, and right now I decided to crush 3 waves in hand side, slow pushing a little bit more, so then I crush it on the next wave would be better in this specific situation. And of course, the reason is because I can actually crush more waves into the tower, and if I crush the more waves into the tower, I have more chances to poke them more. So right now I crushed the wave, and what are we gonna do? Vayne, good luck, have fun. You're gonna have a hard time. I'm not gonna spend the poke on the Bard. I'm just gonna spend the poke on the Vayne. I force her cleanse. We force the fight. I don't want to say we force it because we're not really forcing anything. We're just playing aggressive. Forcing requires you to take also a risk. I'm not taking a risk. I know where is the jungle right now. I know what they can do. The jungle can be slowly around bot lane. I have 10 farm per minute right now. Vayne has 60 farm. This guy is a master tier player last season, so he's not bronze. He's a pretty reasonable player. So we're not really playing against a bad player. Now I'm just pushing the lead and pushing the lead. The reason why I stay here is because, again, I see the enemy jungle on the map and I see Vayne is staying, so there is no reason to recall. Some of you could say, yeah, but you have the Yomus in base. It is true, but if I know where is the jungle and if the enemy AD carry is lower than me in the lane, then why would I recall? Then I push the wave right here, and then after I push the wave I recall, and of course I go towards mid lane to convert my lead into a win. This is how you win. Now Vayne is gonna be stacked on the bot lane and I'm gonna go on mid lane immediately. So this is easy peasy. They will try to force on me, but in the end it's so hard for them to play, because what's gonna end up happening in the next minutes is Yasuo is gonna get zoned. The Vayne is not gonna be able to do anything on the bot lane. Yasuo is gonna die. We're gonna get mid tower and it's easy peasy. They can't really do much right here, and this is what you should do as well. You should play to accelerate the game. You should play aggressive. Again, as you saw right here, don't take stupid risk. You don't know where is the jungle. Play it slower. Don't overwhelmingly, like don't grief it. Don't go so aggressive. Don't try to play over aggressively. Don't risk dying. But if you know where is the jungle and you see that you can play more aggressive, do it without forcing, without diving and doing something crazy. And after you've done that, then of course, as you can see on the screen right now, convert it. And now I'm going to go top. I went mid lane, got the tower bot lane, I went mid lane, I'm going mid lane, I'm getting Herald, we're pinging Herald, I'm pushing mid lane. A lot of players are winning the lane, they're going back to the bot lane and they're like, oh, I can't win, you know, I have a lead, I win the game and I win the lane and I can't do anything. Well, this is why you need to be accessible to the map while still getting the farm, because now you might say, wait, but should I give up the farm? No, as you can see on this replay, I have 9 farm per minute, 9.5 farm per minute. And it's true that I'm still in the cannon right here, but I'm still farming. I'm still farming on mid lane. And of course, if your mid lane doesn't want you to group, or let's say you're like, oh, but what if my mid laner doesn't let me, you know, in that case, you can ping him once. And if he really doesn't want to do it, then you go back to bot lane. And after you push, you go back to mid lane. You still try to fluctuate and stay around mid lane after you fix your wave. But this is really the concept. You can see right here, I'm 5-0. And then of course, on 27 minutes, this is like a very, very easy game. We won it, and realistically speaking, the LeBlanc wasn't really so ahead in this game. Viego was doing okay. It's just we snowballed from the bot lane, and it wasn't really easy, but it was like the concept is like we played aggressive, but not too aggressive. We pushed for plates. Very important to push for plates. We didn't risk anything, and then we actually rotated correctly. These 3 rules very, very important for you. Of course, you might say, hey, I got a lead, so I want to get waves, I want to get plates, right? Well, it's not always the case really. So let's actually examine what happened in the very beginning of the early game of this master tier game. So we're actually killing Bard right now, and I have 900 gold. So you guys can see right here I have 900 gold. Vayne is relatively she's half HP. I'm not actually crushing here immediately because I know that there is another wave that is coming, and right now when this wave is coming, I'm just looking to try to push, just Q on the minions and push aggressively. I get a little bit of a lead, but I'm not actually going for plates in this case because it's very greedy and I just have to recall. So there are a lot of cases where yes, you gotta kill, yes, you want to push more wave, you want to push more plates, but sometimes you can't. Like in this situation, for example, I couldn't go for plates, right? Because the plate was full HP and Vayne, Vayne would stop my recall if I try to grid for a plate. And in the reality is that I wouldn't be able to get the plates anyways, right? Because it's full HP. So if you're too low HP to go for to push one more wave, or you see that you can't really take the plate after you get a kill, that's fine. Just go recall. It's okay. As long as you don't grid it, as long as you don't risk it, then it's okay. It's, again, if it implies a big risk by you pushing one more wave or taking that one more plate, it's better to just recall. So don't do like stupid risks, but still play aggressive. The second rule, as I said, is play for objectives, and I said that be careful because not always objective doesn't always mean Drake and Herald. So in this specific situation, we can examine one game with Ezreal. Again, same rank, Diamond 1, Master Tier, Diamond 2, kind of this range. So what I do right here is that I play for the bot tower because, of course, before I group mid lane, in the majority of the cases, I just have to get the bot tower. There are some cases where, let's say, they have Zed, they have Nocturne, and you can't retake the bot tower, in which case you can group mid lane a little bit earlier. Another case would be if you're super ahead, you can also group earlier than you willing to get the bot tower first. There are a lot of exceptions, but as a rule of thumb, if you get the bot tower first, it should be fine. So right now, I don't exactly have a lead, but I do have a lead in terms of the tower right here. So I take the tower and I move mid lane, and after I move mid lane, I just try to hover my jungle or my support depending on which place I have on the map. And of course, majority of the players would be like, oh yeah, so right now I'm gonna get prio on mid lane, I'm gonna push wave mid lane, I'm gonna wait my wave to come into me, right? Not really. You're pushing the wave for a reason. You want to do something with it. So right now I'm trying to push it, trying to play for the item. This is my purpose. And then I'm also paying attention to bot lane and to top lane. If I see an incoming play that I can redo, I'm immediately gonna go there. So this is why I go top lane here. I see Malphite overextending, I'm pinging, I'm playing around my jungle, I'm playing around my support. And with this push wave, I'm not just, okay, let me just wait the wave on mid lane and just chill. It is true that sometimes you just have to do that. If you're behind or they will push it first and you have to stay under your tower and take it, that's fine. But majority of the cases, you want to play proactive, you want to do something with the push. So here, let's recap. I got the tower on bot lane, I got the lead on the tower there. So I always try to use that time, use that tempo, right, to make something happen on the map. So I just recalled, I went mid lane, and with the prio that I've got right here, I went towards top lane. And this is what happened. You could argue that, oh, this is also because your teammates, they were good and they were there. What if your teammates are not there? If my teammates are not there and I know I can't kill Malphite, I don't even move. But the purpose is really, you have to look to move, you have to be ready. And if they are there, you should always be able to be okay. If not, then it's fine. So play for objectives. That means play for plates, play for rotations after you get the tower. Try to play for something. Don't just try to chill in the game and just don't take objectives, or you get some kills and you don't get anything, or you get the bot tower and you come back in the bot lane. So imagine what kind of big mistake I would do if, let's say, I get the bot tower on right now, and right now I'm going bot lane, or I'm going to farm the raptors. So I'm going to, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go back to bot lane, or yeah, no, bot lane is stupid because the wave is pushed, but I'm gonna go and get the farm. No, I mean, yes, you want to get the farm, but it has to be mid lane because you have to accelerate. So after pushing the mid lane, you have a lot of options. Move with Belvech, move towards top lane, make a play. I mean, right now move towards top lane. It's a Malphite, it's very stupid to go top, but since we have Fizz ulti, as we can see right here on the screen, it's very good to just pat towards bot lane and hover. Play for objective. If the first rule was actually around get plates, play more aggressively, the second rule is around objectives, towers, fights. Very, very, very important. And the third rule, we're going to talk about more about team fights. Let's examine the third rule that we have right here. So we talked about being the team fights. This is the third rule, is stay around your teammates, being the team fights, hover your teammates. Very, very, very important. I see a lot of players that they just play the game, and a lot of cases in this kind of situations is that they are just over split pushing. So right now, let's examine this specific situation where I'm playing bot lane. There is the bot tower right here. There is not really much I can really do other than just playing for the bot tower. So let's speed it up a little bit. So right now I'm just waiting to see if I can get a tower. As I get the tower, I can just go for the Drake because I see jungle is around me. I have a huge amount of gold, so I could always also recall in that situation. That's no problem. But I actually decide to go for the Drake since Maokai and Xin were already there. I'm pushing the bot lane. I'm pushing one more right now, and then immediately after I push this wave, I actually hover mid lane. Of course, you could argue that I should also recall first, but since I have two items right now, Essence River with the Manimon, I know I can be in this fight. I see they're chasing. I see Xin Zhao is in a position. So yes, it is true that you might say, yeah coach, but wait, do I in every situation do I just move like this if I have a lot of gold? Well, if you have a lot of gold and you only have tier, I wouldn't really have followed here, because if I'm not strong, if I know that I'm not strong enough to make a significant impact, I'm not following this. If I'm Lucian and I only have tier 1 boots, I'm not following this with 2k gold. If I'm a champion with like a very low items, I'm just prioritizing the recall and the attitude of be selfish is good. In this specific situation though, I'm strong enough to make an impact in the fight, and even if I have 2k gold, I can make an exception and I can fight with them, especially because one, the fight is close to me, so the distance rule, and two, as I'm looking at the fight, I know this fight is gonna last for a minimum 10 seconds because Maokai has aftershock, Maokai is tanky, I can see the positioning of the people. So I'm moving right there. So I'm not just staying bot lane, chilling on bot lane. No, I'm just moving. I got a kill right here. I'm pinging on my way. Guys, let's do something. And I am on mid lane. Right now I get the tower. And right here, I just try to get the second tower. And we try to extend the lead. Right now, after I push this wave, I really have to recall, so I'm not gonna overextend anymore. And guess what? After I do this, I just go towards mid lane. I go towards mid lane right now and I try to stay there. So the rule that you actually have to get from this situation is that yes, you can stay on the side lane. Yes, you need to get your farm, you need to catch your side lane, but always be ready to be back in the mid lane, because in the reality is that after you get a lead, you need to do something with it. You need to move away of bot lane. You need to rotate. You need to be in the team fight. So don't just get overwhelmed of like, oh, I'm an AD carry. I need farm. I'm gonna farm until 6 items. Majority of the cases, after an item and a half, you can already group. You can already do something. You can already consider to hover. Look at me right now. I'm just hovering on my teammates. I could have been mid lane right now, but I know that wave doesn't really push anything. And now I go get the wave, and guess what? After I get the wave, I'm looking at my teammates and boop shakalaka, I'm moving towards them again. So I'm trying to have a playstyle where I'm getting as much farm in mid game as possible, but the most important thing is staying around my teammates and hovering fights that are close to me. Of course, if the fights are like really far from me, I'm not even considering moving there. But if the fights are like close to me, I always consider to be there with them. Another very important thing that you have to take into consideration is to not spend too much time on side lane after the Baron Nashor is actually spawned. So we can see right here, this was a coaching session that a player that actually wanted to get from gold to emerald. She's actually going to bot lane because there is a big wave that is coming into her right here, but the Baron Nashor is up right here, right? So this means if the Baron Nashor is up right here, is that there is a high chance that the enemy team will just go for that, and that means if you're not there, it's gonna be very bad. So what I told this client is that, hey, okay, you go for the bot lane because this wave is actually pressuring you. Go there, take it fast, because it was actually going into your tower. It was relatively big. Take it fast and immediately urgently go towards mid lane. If you push one more wave on the bot lane, what's going to end up happening is that your Lux, Swain, and everyone that is going to be mid lane with Master Butter E, they're going to go towards Nashor, they're going to force a fight because the enemy team has Akali, Yasuo, Malphite, and you're going to be bot lane pushing while they win a fight. Enemy wins a fight, and they also get the Nashor. Be very careful when you're actually side laning, and the objective of the Baron Nashor is on the map. Try to spend as little amount of time as possible right there, because if you're not grouped, if you're not with your teammates, if you're not there, you can't carry the fights even if you have a lead. Be very careful how much time you spend on the side lane. And of course, if you're like, oh, but what if I get a little bit, what if I get my Guinsus or my Kraken Slayer or my Infinity Age if I push one more wave? Would that be worth? In that case, yes, it's arguable, and it could be worth if it's for a huge power spike, pushing that one more wave. As long as you're not really risking dying, it's fine. But if you're just pushing just to push, it's not good. Or if you're just pushing for a dagger or for a curvo or for an item that is fine but not really gonna make a huge impact, then it's bad. And another thing that you need to be careful is the following. After you lose the tower on bot lane and you want to like really play slow, whether you're behind or you're a little bit ahead, you have to be very careful that the enemy carry will try to snowball. We try to go back to mid lane, right? So Jinx in this case, she's gonna try to push. she's trying to try to snowball. So the worst thing that Kog'Maw can do here is the Jinx is going to go mid lane and trying to force a fight. They have Zerat. Anivia is gonna, well, she has enough wave clear. It's just your teammates are gonna most likely fight, because we know that, okay, in Challenger they shouldn't be fighting, you know, I'm staying on the bot lane, you know, I can also freeze. But this is actually be the worst thing that you can actually do in games like this. Simply because your teammates, if you're playing in Emerald, Gold, Platinum, even Low Diamond, even Diamond 2, Diamond 3, your teammates won't really understand the concept of, hey, I'm like right now I'm off tempo, I'm like not able to really do anything on the map, meaning that they should just wave clear on mid lane, Mastery should farm his jungle, and I'm fine. So the worst thing that I can do right now, because I know that my team is gonna fight, it's just gonna be like normal in the mid game for solo queue fights. Of course in LEC, LCS is not normal or clash because you can communicate with them, but in this case, if you freeze here and Jinx goes mid lane, kills all of your teammates, they get Herald, they get mid tower, it's not good. So the worst thing that you can do right here as a Kog'Maw, as an AD carry, is freezing this wave or playing it slow. You gotta push it as fast as humanly possible. Try to play for the bot tower, because if you push it as fast as possible and you crush the wave, Jinx will think about going back to bot lane to catch that wave. So you can either push the wave and then go back to mid lane if you think that it's greedy for you to actually push the tower. Let's say they have Nocturne, Zed or whatever, but if it's not greedy, or if you see the Zed or the Nocturne or the Kayn on the map, then you can just go and push for the tower. So right here, this player, so this was like, I actually coached this guy and he was gold before the coaching, and like 2 days after he got the coaching, he immediately went to plat with the coaching session, because I teach him the fundamentals of lane and the fundamentals of being around the teammates when he should be around the teammates. It's that simple. In the following example, we're going to talk about why is the Baron Nashor going to actually help you to convert leads into early game into leads into the later stages, because most of the people, they don't do Nashor, and especially in low elo, they don't really recognize the situation when they can actually do Baron. If you actually get Baron, you can push multiple lanes, you have the minions advantage, they are stronger, they're tankier, you also get AP, AD, is just an overall really good buff, let alone that you're also getting gold and experience. So let's see what these guys are actually doing right here. So we can see that they're actually trying to siege mid lane. And after they siege mid lane, Nafari does an amazing play and kills Ezreal. So at this point in time, they should immediately turn their attention to the Baron Nashor. Usually the rule says if you killed minimum 2 people inside of a team fight and you have like significant number advantage and it's past 20 minutes, you can always think about doing the Baron Nashor. I mean, of course, right now, best case scenario, we kill the enemy jungle, and if we kill the enemy jungle, we can start our Nashor right away. Since we just killed the Ezreal in this specific case, we have to have minimum 2 people dead. But even in this case, we can see this is like a gold, silver game. Everyone should turn their attention to the Baron, not just do it, because we can't really do it right here since just Ezreal died and not Lee Sin. And so again, if it's the jungle, even one person dead can actually make you go for the Nashor. If it's not the jungle, you need to kill minimum 2 people in order for you to actually go for the better Nashor. That's usually how it actually works. They can't really do Nashor right here, but they can look to get some vision, and they should ping the vision ping ding 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 ding, and they should actually try to get that. They are not really even looking to get it. Melio is doing the wrong thing. He's trying to play with Yorick. Yorick should anyways be on bot lane, not really on top lane, because Baron is up. Everyone is just wandering around. They don't know how to convert this game into a win. This Nafari has 9 kills, but he's gonna lose this game because all what he's doing is like he's playing for kills, and he's not really taking anything. He's not really taking any objective in it. So the most important thing is if you kill 2 people, you want to look to go for the Nashor, minimum 2 people. So if you have a significant number advantage, you can always turn attention to Baron Nashor. And usually when you ping the Baron Nashor, you have to spam ping like multiple times. And if you press tab and you ping the normal ping with alive, that one, you should ping with a ping that people will hear it. If you just ping that one, no one is going to really care. So you have to ping assistance or all in on the Baron Nashor so they can hear it. And I would also check if my teammates are inside of the fight. I see a lot of players like they are, let's say right now right here we are having this thing going on with the Lee Sin, and now Smolder is pinging Baron, like no one is gonna hear it. So let the fight end, and after the fight is gonna end, don't ping right now the Baron Nashor because everyone is in the fight. So for example, right here, if I'm Aurelion Sol, I'm first killing the Amumu, and right now when they are thinking, should we go mid lane, should we go natural, this is when you're pinging, because your teammates, especially if you play below master tier, they won't really have a game knowledge, they don't really have so much game sense, so they will not really instantly turn away their attention to Baron, like in Challenger or Grandmaster or maybe High Masters as well. So what you have to do, you have to ping them exactly after the fight ended, and of course you have to consider 3 important things when actually going for the national. 1 is who is gonna tank it, like you need to have a minimum 1 target that is gonna tank it. 2 is who is gonna damage per second it. So of course, when it comes to who is gonna tank it, you need a tank, Malphite, or like just a bruiser Darius with significant amount of HP. Second of all, who is gonna damage per second it, you need some champions like Yasuo, Yone, Cassiopeia with Kraken Slayer, Kindred, stuff that are AD that do a lot of damage. If you don't have this, then you consider yourself having a very slow Baron Nashor, like for example in this case with Ezreal, not so good, MF useless in the Baron Nashor, especially because she has Comet, but we do have the Yasuo, which is actually pretty fast, makes it pretty fast, especially with 3 items. So think about who's gonna tank it, who's gonna do damage, and most importantly, maybe is the enemy going to be able to contest with AoE damage. So for example here, if this team is actually gonna start the Nashor with Nafari, Smolder, Milio, they should be like, yes, we are gonna start it, but guess what, MF can just ulti from here to here the whole pit. Guess what, Aurelion Sol can ulti the whole pit. Guess what, Ezra is gonna ulti the whole pit. Guess what, Lee Sin is gonna have a tie spot ultimate kick with the Yasuo ulti. Think about these things: Zerat, Aurelion Sol, Ezreal ulti, blah blah blah, stuff, AoE damage that can actually come to you and immediately just break the game. So you have to really pay attention to all of these 3 aspects when actually going for the Baron Nashor. Another really important thing is when you have your lead, if you see that your teammates are keep dying and keep dying and keep dying, don't get discouraged. Try to keep focusing on your own gameplay, see what you can do the best, and try to actually just make the best out of it. So in this situation, as we can see that right now, Talon is actually dead, Rel is actually dead, but I'm not tilted. I'm like, okay, they died, what am I gonna do right now? Always thinking based on the present, like based on what happened. I'm looking for a solution. I'm not really looking for you know, who did that, so let's blame someone. I'm actually going top lane. I'm like, okay, let's wave clear a little bit more. Aurelion Sol is gonna scale, it's fine, they died on the side lane. I'm thinking about the solution instead of being like, okay, they are throwing, this game is unwinnable. So I'm always present, and I'm trying to not tilt in this situation. I'm trying to just do my best in this game, because the reason why I play this game is because I want to improve and I want to get better. So with my teammates, they matter whether I can win or not, but I just want to make the best out of it. And as you can see right now, give Drake, play for top lane. I'm actually trying to write down the things that they should do, because Rel is trying to contest the Drake. This is Diamond 2, Diamond 3, so some people, you know, especially if they are tilted, they can be considered clueless. They don't have macro, even in this elo, even Master Plus, sometimes depending on the players. So typing in some of the situation can be good, again, as long as you know what you're doing and as long as you're doing good in the game. If you're 0-5 in the game and you're starting to type, it might actually be like, it's a bit annoying for your teammates to see that the Bane 0-5 is actually typing, guys, do this, do that. So don't try to type if you're like not like really confident on what you should do or what you should be doing. And more importantly, don't try to type if you're behind. In the following situations, we're gonna see the most useless and bad mistakes that you can do when it comes to snowballing your lead. The first mistake is you throw your lead. You get your lead, but then you make a decision that is bad, or you die, and you make something like you take a risk and you just end up dying, and then you just throw your lead. So for example, this Twisted Fate 001, he has a lead, he actually pushes the wave. So right now he does have a good lead. He was actually already ahead. Soraka had to assist. She is 400 gold ahead on the MF. So what he's doing, he's gonna try to push the wave, which can be like, okay, you know, I should push the wave, I should extend my lead. First of all, you should not push by yourself. You should always ping your Soraka to help you push, because the reason why he wasn't able to like crush in time is because Soraka didn't help. So what he should have done is that if he knows for sure he can crush without Soraka, he can definitely consider letting her recall. But in majority of the cases, just getting a bit of help so you can actually make sure you crush the wave is very important. So what he did here, he actually made the freeze for the MF. So he tried to push his lead, he tried to push the wave, but it wasn't really the good solution. What he should have been doing right here is that he should have pinged SoloQ multiple times on the wave, 2 times usually I like to ping on the wave, like, hey bro, let's try to push this wave, and then he should just play from there. He can definitely crush the wave. Another situation, you can be like, oh, but my SoloQ is you know, useless, and she's not doing anything in the lane, she doesn't listen, supports are stupid. If the supports are stupid, well, if the supports don't really listen to you, what Twisted Fate should do right here, if he sees that he's pinging and SoloQ is actually just pressing B, he should just recall. Yeah, I mean it. Recall just right now. This is a freeze. He has enough minions to be a freeze because he can actually set it up right here very well. Very well, just because he has 5 minions, so he just needs to stream it a little bit. He needs to kill 1 minion because the freeze is with 4 minions extra on the enemy wave. We have 0 minions right here on this current wave, so 4 minions should do it. So right now, if Twisted Fate is smart, he's paying attention to his gold. He has 947 gold. He can buy a decent item with this amount, but he's most likely willing to actually get more. So based on his goal, the correct challenger decision making would be to push 2 waves and to crush, even though that would actually give time to the MF to get all of the wave. And of course, a challenger player, if he has, let's say, Noonquiver 1300 gold, he would consider to not push this wave and recall right away. So all of these decisions can be you know, done if you're paying attention to the gold, if you like see the dead timer of the MF and you're trying to think about your wave clear as Twisted Fate and SoloQ, and you also have to think about what is the chances that you die here of a gank. Very low, since it's Mordekaiser and you have a reasonable amount of HP right here. So the decision in low elo should be made again based on the gold, but in the situations when SoloQ doesn't really help you, you can just recall right away. So he just threw his lead. He got a good lead and he just threw the lead. And if we actually go into the, so this guy is 0-0, this is like a gold game. If we go in the end of the game, the MF actually won the game significantly. So this Twisted Fate could have won immediately, and this is the problem that is very common for people, like not being able to snowball. So if you have this problem, you should definitely consider getting some coaching, because I can help you to fix that immediately, and you can improve so fast after that. The second problem that people have is that they get a lead, but they don't actually get plays, they don't push waves, they don't try to extend it. So let's take a look at this. So right now, MF and Zera, they're actually pushing very aggressively. This guy is under the tower, extremely low HP. So what they're going to end up doing is that they're going to try to play super aggressive, try to ulti, they actually get a kill here, and Twisted Fate is 1 HP. We know that he's going to recall. So what MF should do is that she should extend the lead as much as possible. There is no threat here of the enemy jungle, it's a volley bit and they're full HP. Well, at least the MF is full HP, so she's not really in any danger. Twisted Fate just recalled right now, so we know it. So what should she do right now? Obviously, based on her mana, she should recall. Based on her HP, she could consider going for a plate. The plate is full HP. Oh, sorry, the plate is half HP and she has a reasonable amount of items right now. Dirk actually pretty good to get the plate. The decision should be made on, first of all, can she get the plate safely? And the answer is absolutely yes. The enemy jungle can't kill her. She knows that Twisted Fate just recall, and she knows that the SoloQ is around the lane, but SoloQ is not really a threat. Second of all, she should ask herself, am I able to actually recall after I take the plate, or am I able to die after I take the plate? Can they come from behind? And in this case, the answer is no. She has enough vision on the river, and SoloQ, even for coming from behind, she's not really in any danger at the moment. Again, she also has to think about the Twisted Fate positioning. So if Twisted Fate is, let's say, here, and she knows that by trying to push this wave, she takes the plate, but then she's going to need to recall here or here, and then Twisted Fate might be able to actually stop her recall. The decision of recalling right away is good. But in this position, Twisted Fate just recalled. We can see his position right now. SoloQ is not really a threat. We have enough vision, and of course, the plate is also pretty low based on our items. This is what you need to think about. When you're getting the plate or not. You need to think about, can I get it safely? Can anyone kill me or stop my recall? Second of all, you also have to pay attention to where is approximately where is the enemy AD carry and where is the enemy support. If the enemy support is a support that, you know, can kill you. And obviously, you need to think about all of these things. Plus, you need to see actually your items, how many items you have, and the size of the plate. Because if the plate is like very healthy, and you only have, let's say, a dagger, or you only have a Doran's blade, then you can just consider recalling right away. So it also depends on the minute of the game. This guy just recalled, and we can see that he won the game again. but he wasn't really snowballing properly. He just got stomped in the laning phase, and because Twisted Fate just played Twisted Fate because he saw it in whatever rank, in like high elo, she still like lost the lane against the Twisted Fate Soraka here as Zerat MF, which is actually quite embarrassing because MF is like really powerful with Zerat in the lane. Twisted Fate is not bad, it's just is not compared to MF, is like not good at all. The next mistake is not grouping fast enough or spending too much time on the sideline. So let's see what this MF is actually doing after she gets a lead. So she's actually getting a lead, and we know that we want to snowball, we want to go to mid lane, we want to make something happen, but obviously you can also consider staying on the bot lane and taking waves if you know that you're forced to do that and it's an urgency. So let's actually explore this specific situation and see what's happening. So she actually almost barely got the tower right now. She's just going to recall, go back to the mid lane. Twisted Fate got the tower. So right now what Twisted Fate should do, he has 600 gold, so he can go mid lane right away, or he can just simply get a bit of vision on the Drake. That's absolutely all right. So this is what he should be doing. The face check here is absolutely stupid. He doesn't really know his goal. He should just put some ward, and he should do it from here. Just put the ward, not face check the brush, and then he should just get some vision here. This brush is extremely important to actually get vision, and he was trying to really fight when he shouldn't redo it. So now MF is actually going to get the tower, and after MF is getting the tower, she has two options. Just go mid right away, or just recall and go mid right away, of course, unless they need the help for the Drake, but this is not the case because we have this ward right here. Enemy jungle was actually seen on top lane, and the Drake is 2.5k HP right now, so by the time that MF is going to be here, the Drake is going to be like 1k, so it's not worth to actually help in this specific situation. So what MF should do right now, based on her gold, 1k gold, she should recall, and then she should go to mid lane. Of course, she doesn't do it. She just AFKing bot lane, getting vision on bot lane. What the fuck are you gonna do? Get the bot tower? You're never gonna get this tower, ever. You have to go mid lane, you have to play for the Herald, you had to go towards mid lane. Now, you don't have really as much time because Twisted Fate is gonna push this wave. So right here, if Twisted Fate is good, Twisted Fate is doing the same mistake. Like right now he got the tower, he should be mid lane, but obviously for him getting the bot wave is very important because it's actually pressuring her in his tower. He's close to his tower, so he should push this wave and move towards mid lane, or just push this wave and then push another wave and then move towards mid lane, depending on if he has ultimate. He does not have his ultimate, so getting into this fight is very unrealistic. So if he's pushing this wave and he's getting there, he's never gonna get there in time, so he should push one more. So he should push this wave, push one more, then go mid lane. He actually stays for the Krugs. Absolutely useless. You stay here for 100 gold when you can pressure this tower by pushing this wave, and then you can immediately move towards mid lane. If you get more farm and stay in the fight, it's 10 times better than let me get some more farm, let me get some Krugs, let me get 100 gold, let me just farm, you know, let me farm camps. Camps are good as an AD carry, but majority of the case, if there is something else that you can do on the map that involves your teammates, or there is some farm, some experience, you always prefer to get farm rather than the camps. You always prefer to be in the fight. If you have enough items, he has an item and a health, so he is reasonably strong. So in this specific situation, of course, challenger player might also tell me, yeah, but you know, if there is no fight here, getting the camps, and if there is nothing really on the map, getting a camp is not bad, right? Well, it is true. And then challenger players will also tell me, yeah, bro, but anyways, this guy is a really bad player, because when you're taking a camp, you're always trying to pressure and get the wave first and then get the camp, so you can pressure the lane first and get the camp after. I mean, there are a lot of mistakes. This is like a gold player, so we have a blissable amount of mistakes. Like probably every 5 seconds we look at his gameplay, he does something wrong, but we're not really talking about that. Same thing with MF here. She pushed, she should immediately turn to the mid lane. It's not like she can get into this fight, but if she can go mid, push the wave, and then either pressure this tower if she can, but if she can't, no problem, she can always go back to bot lane to actually save this tower. Well, not save this tower, but save the wave, because Twisted Fate is gonna be pressuring there. But what she does, she recalls and she goes mid, which is actually pretty good. At least she's going mid, and now she's actually going back to bot lane, which theoretically it could be good because Twisted Fate is pushing, but practically she doesn't have a tower, so she's not forced to go now bot lane. I understand if Twisted Fate was here and he was pushing, she should go bot, which is absolutely fine. But in this specific situation, she should stay mid, push the mid lane, and she should send Lux on the bot lane. And then, of course, if Lux doesn't want to go bot lane, then you go bot lane. So this is what she should have done. Right now, she's actually forcing a play. She gets a kill, and same mistake. She pushes this, she recalls, which is really good because she's low HP. And then after she recalls, she should go mid because she has 2 items, or well, almost 2 items right here, right? So she should never be on bot lane. Only go on bot lane if the wave is like pressuring you in any way and you're forced to, but in this case, easily be mid lane. Twisted Fate is mid lane. He's trying to make something happen. And of course, MF in the end, she went towards mid lane, but she spent too much time on bot lane. 1, she wasn't trying to do group 1 mid lane after she got the tower. 2, she wasn't really trying to hover place when she was on bot lane and the wave was right here. She should try to go towards mid lane. And then of course, if you're right here and you have to go back bot lane because the Twisted Fate is right here and he's pushing the wave, that's fine. But you willing to actually hover the play and looking to see what's going on there, because maybe you have ultimate, maybe they're gonna end you ulti and you can get a kill before you return to bot lane. So this is the biggest mistake here. This is a very big mistake that people do actually here. $5. If you have problems improving and getting better in the game faster but you cannot afford booking coaching, on my Patreon you can access more than 627 VOD reviews, premium videos about how to wave management, mid-game macro, and tier lists that will show you the best champions to climb and to improve for your elo. And these are not on YouTube, this is only on Patreon, they're exclusive. Moreover, you can participate in the free coaching waiting list to get a premium VOD review. I'm giving away 2 free VOD reviews every single week. All what you need to do is simple 2-step process. Subscribe to my Patreon and share your OPGG and voila, you are on the waiting list. You're gonna get a personalized VOD review for any game in your match history. For just $5, you get not only the free VOD review, but a whole bunch of exclusive benefits that will supercharge your gaming experience. It's a small investment for a big return. And it's just $5, it's no brainer, right? But here is the deal, you've got to act quickly. The waiting list is already filling up fast. 55 people already subscribed to the Patreon, and there are 6 people that they already are on board, they are on the waiting list. And more are joining every moment. Now, do you want to secure your spot for a free VOD review? Go ahead on my Patreon and reserve it right now.